Hey, wanted to talk Sandals Resorts in Jamaica. I'm Lacey, a travel advisor that specializes in sandals and beaches vacations. So I just really wanted to take a second because there is so much misinformation out there about the state of the resorts and what's happening. So I just highly encourage you to work with your travel advisor, or if you book direct, to call Sandals. Be a little bit patient with them if your vacation's more than 2 weeks out. They're really trying to handle the first 2 weeks of vacations right now and also assess damage. So if we talk about damage, Sandals South Coast definitely got hit the worst, and they are going to have probably the longest runway to open. There's more than just, some downed trees and aesthetics that they need to clean up there. So that one I would expect to take the longest. The next two on the list, which is going to be Sandals Royal Caribbean and Sandals Montego Bay. There does appear to be structural damage outside of all of the trees and other things, a little bit more isolated there, easier to open than it will be South Coast. And then let's move on. Sandals Dunn's River and Sandals Ochi, we're in the Ocho Rios area. Again, just seems like a lot of things kind of down, maybe a little bit more isolated areas when it comes to the damage, so they could see a quicker opening. And then in Negril, we've got Sandals Negril and Beaches Negril, and the same thing. Just a lot of cleanup. I know it's a little hard to assess when you want to take your vacation, but they really need a few days to get through that cleanup. And I think most importantly, we want to make sure that the staff there have the time and the consideration for what their families are going through too. About the airports, I know there's been tons of information circling about Montego Bay Airport and how it looks just destroyed. There is an area of it that's in rough shape, but they are going to be able to accept commercial passengers starting tomorrow. Obviously, this will be at limited capacity. And in both Ocho Rios and Kingston, they are doing relief efforts as well as some commercial flights already starting today. So airports are starting to open, things are starting to happen. Biggest thing is let's get the aid in there, let's get that taken care of, and then get the folks off the island. Another big thing to remember is, Jamaica really needs our help right now. So one of the main ways that we can support is through the Sandals Foundation. It is an amazing foundation. Sandals actually pays the administrative fees on that. So whatever you donate goes direct to those relief efforts to all of Jamaica. They had actually built the shelter that was in the Black River area. That's where that money goes, and it will go directly to help the Sandals and Beaches staff members as well. And then also, once the island is ready to accept people, guys, please go. Don't cancel your reservations that are, several months out after it's been given the all clear to open. Keep those reservations because, the reason that the island is going to be able to recover is because of tourism widely. So we need to keep that going and continue to support. So if you have any questions about your upcoming trip or you want to learn more about ways you can help, please feel free to reach out to me.